Just like the way you open your account with a broker, and the statistics of course shows that over 90% of retail forex traders lose money. They don't make anything. That is also the same way that over 90% of prop firm traders blow accounts and they don't really make money. So you see, trading is hard. It's not easy. It is not a game for the faint-hearted. But if you follow me, you subscribe to this channel, you watch my videos every day, and I mean every day, I will do my best to bring you up-to-date market analysis, show you the moves, the possible moves, all the possible moves, varieties that lie within particular instrument. And I do that for a whole lot of instruments, including the CFDs, the forex pairs, indices, a few cryptos, and you will of course have insights to help you trade your account, be it a prop account, a personal account, and make money, because that is the end goal, to make money, right? So if you follow me and stick around to the end of this video, I will analyze the CFDs, major indices, and then I'll analyze a few of the cryptos and tell you the varieties of price actions you could see and how to take advantage of each and every one of them, when to wait for confirmation, when to get into the trade, when of course to leave the market if you're in a trade. Close the trade and wait. So now, I am not a financial advisor, and everything I say here are pretty much the way I trade the market. So I am more or less talking to myself on the things I am looking out for and how I will and always trade the market. But this information can help you in your own style of trading, how to make better decisions on your daily trading business. So if that sounds like what you would want to see on a daily basis, consider subscribing to the channel, consider turning on the notification bell, consider liking this video. You can share it of course with your friends, and also if you have a question, please leave it in the comment section below and I'll do my best to attend to them all. All right, let's go. So we are going to start with gold. This is gold and we are on the 15 minutes time frame, and I failed to upload any video yesterday for some reasons, though unforeseen reasons. But anyways, I am back today. So if you watched my video a day before yesterday, on Friday, right, Monday or Friday, you would notice I mentioned this about gold, that I'm expecting it to go up right here, and somewhere around here I am expecting it to come down. Now I also said that it may be that we are going up to complete this move, or that whatever happened here was a complete correction on its own, forming an expanding flat, and whatever we are going to get here is going to be a correction on its own. So now that we have this one move up, it might just be one piece of a puzzle. It might also be a completion of a puzzle, which is this, if it's a completion of a puzzle. But if it's one piece of a puzzle, then we've just made the first move into a bigger correction, and we don't know what it will form here though. We don't know how it will form, but if it's a piece of a puzzle that would happen, that would come afterwards, then we've just made a first move into that, and we'll then look forward to whatever we'll get next. So but gold, as you can know, or as you can see, it's already in this downtrend, and let's just look forward to this correction here. So if I see an impulse down here and a correction, I would consider selling it. because I don't know how far this will go before we start to get other corrections or whatever the move will be. But then if this happens to form a bigger correction here, something significant, if it happens to form something significant here, or maybe form a flat here, then I would consider buying it with the hopes that it comes to break this top again or come at least a bit further into this move. So that will be it for now. And if I see something significant here on the 1 hour time frame, then I would start looking at this as the first impulse into maybe a possible correction for the buy continuation on the general trend of gold. That's if you understand what I mean by that. So let me break it down some more. Let me go to the 1 hour and break it down some more. So now remember, gold has been trending upwards, right? So yeah, if for any reason we get a correction here, I would buy this and then take this as a first impulse into a possible bigger correction here to continue upwards. So of course you know what I am looking for, right? The second option is that gold here forms an impulse downwards, makes a correction, and I will consider selling it because we are already on this downtrend. So I will consider selling it. This might form some other correction along the way, go back for it. That's if only this is the first move into a possible correction and not anything related to something that happened in the past. So these are options you need to consider in your mind if you want to trade successfully. So you need to consider all those options, possibilities of what has happened, what could happen, what is happening, if it's could be related to something that has happened in the past, or if not, what other options can we possibly see. So that is it for gold, and the trade on gold for you is to wait, because as it stands now there is no trade for you. So wait to see if this starts forming a bigger correction here for this continuation, or if it makes an impulse and a correction here to go down. Now here is another last possibility you need to bear in mind. Let me show you. This can also make this correction here, go back up, but then this becomes all we get, and we'll still continue this downward trend. So this becomes an impulse, a correction, and we will just continue the downward trend. So that is also another possibility. So there are varieties of possible moves that could happen on gold, and it is now left for you to determine and figure out which one is happening and at which stage. And remember, you take the information the chart presents to you one at a time. You don't rush it so you don't make mistakes, even though yes, we misinterpret these things sometimes, and every trader does, and that's why we of course lose money sometimes, which is part of the game. But having an understanding of the possibilities of the moves on the chart will help you a whole lot. All right, now let's move over to silver. I don't know how many of you trade silver, but again, if you remember on Friday I told you we could be coming for this move here, or we could be coming for this move, making this an independent correction on its own within these two moves. And the third option is that this was complete here, this was complete here, and we're just coming for another bigger correction here to continue. And that's the third option. And the fourth option is that we are going to break out. So if we are going for this move to break the top again, it will go in a straight line, of course, you know. So we'll have correction. So I'm expecting a correction here, and if you go down to the lower time frame, which is the 15, you can see that silver is already selling. You can see that happening. Okay, so this might end up becoming a correction here to continue going up, or it might just be coming down already. But I'm expecting to have this move, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have this and it goes back one more before it decides to come. So we might just end up having this as a correction, but the immediate trade here right now is to see if this is coming for this or not. So if you want to sell silver, you might want to put your, you should already be in trade by the rules I trade, because it should come somewhere here, because this broke the top. And if you look at the 5 minutes time frame, you can see clearly what I meant. Yeah, so we have this impulse, we have this correction, we have this impulse, we have this correction, we have this. So automatically the entry should come here. If you read this correctly, it should come here. So you should be in the trade right now, and this is not moving very fast, so we could end up having something like this, and that would just be a completion of this, and we still go up. Okay, so keep your eyes on this one, because you might get a trade here, even though I don't think the buys will go up that much. Even if they should come, I mean, after this is completed, I don't think this bar will go up a lot. Okay, I don't think it will go up a lot, but just keep your eyes on this one, and whether you're buying or selling, just buy and sell with caution. All right, buy and sell with caution. If it does this, and if it does that, even if you buy with a smaller risk or lot size, you would already be in profit. So that's it for silver and US oil. And if you watched my video on Monday, remember I told you we could be going most likely for this. That's if this is not a complete correction, we could be going for this. And now here is a big question. We've gone for this, we got the move. Now another thing to consider is, with whatever is happening here, is this still a part of this move? Which right now I am beginning, the information I have actually right now is letting me understand that this might not really be part of this. Now I said might, remember, because this is forming a correction here. It did this correction, it broke this top, it came down, it went to the top, it's coming out. This is forming a correction here, and after this completes itself, we might get this. And if we are getting this, what does that show us? It shows that we might just be in this, right? Yeah, you see that now, right? You see how the chart is changing with the information we can see or we have at our disposal. So that's how you trade the market. You always make sure you think about all the possible probabilities you could get, or the chart could make, or the price action could print. You think about all those possibilities, and then you wait and see which one aligns to which possibility there and then you know what's next to do as to how to enter a trade or go into the market too. Right now, what I will wait for is either for this to do whatever it's doing here, go back here, come back, do this, and we have this, or I am waiting for it to come down, break this low, forms a correction here, and I'll sell it, and then I will conclude that this is finally this. All right, so for the time being, I am leaving everything open, every option open, and watching to see what happens here next. And I think the same goes for UK oil, of course. So I'm watching to see what happens here next. If we get a correction here to go back up, or if we get this to come back down. So I'm just watching to see what pans out or what happens. Let's go over to US 30. Formed an impulse, is forming a correction. The question is, are we going back up? Is that it, or are we just forming a bigger correction? From the 1 hour, it has formed a good impulse though, but I still think we might come down. Yeah, I still think we might come down, but here is the thing. Let's wait for, hold on, let me take away the slide. It's not relevant here. So let's wait for a significant correction here, and if we see something significant, we can consider buying this. We can consider buying that. Other than that, we wait for what would happen here to finish, and we sell. But if you see an impulse down, if you see a flag, if you see an impulse down, if you see a flag, I will consider selling it further before we finally, because I still think all these things here are corrections to still go back up. So that is it for US 30. Let's go to NAS 100. Okay, so it did break the low here, so making this the entire correction for this one. And of course, so if we see this form a good correction here on the 1 hour, or we even see it make something like this as a running flat, looks very we see it make something like this, we'll consider buying it. Yeah, I'll consider buying it. So I'm waiting for, because when I say I draw these flags and I keep it this way, it just seems like flags only happen towards this direction or structure, or appear like that on the chart, because this can also be a flag. Okay, and this is called a running flat, and it's kind of a short banker though. So I'm just waiting to see what really happens here, and then I'll decide to either buy or sell. Because why I wouldn't jump into this right now is that this might also be a correction. I'll come down some more. S&P 500, same thing with NAS, and we have this. Same thing with NAS. So let's wait and see. Now that they have broken, now that NAS and S&P 500 have broken this top, this last impulse, the top of the last impulse, let's see what happens. If they form corrections here, of course we are buying. So patience is the key right here, because this can also be a bigger correction to come down where this is the impulse, right? So keep your eyes on that one. As for this, it is forming this right here, which I think it is forming this correction right here, and we might just be in this for a very long time. We might just be in this for a long time. When I say a long time, I don't really mean that long time. I mean maybe for the whole week. Yeah. So because I'm seeing this right here now as an impulse, this correction. So we'll get this an impulse, and we'll get this correction, we'll get this an impulse, and finally we might get this, the impulse, and you can see that this can come down some more. And when it does, we don't know how far it will go, but we're hoping for it to go back up. And let's take a big picture and look at what that could do over there, what impact it could have. So this is the 4 hour. So if you have something like that on the 4 hour, if you have something like that, if you have something like that here, of course this would go, and this will become either a standalone correction or a part of what will happen in the future. So you can see that already, right? So let's just keep everything that is happening here open for the meantime. But this, of course, is a flag, a 4 hour flag for the buy continuation. But from the 1 hour and 15 minutes, we can have good trades within that range. So just wait for this to do whatever it's doing, and you can sell when it gets to this stop. Gives you an impulse, a flag, you sell, or when it gets to this stop. And then here is the other option. Another option is that whatever happened here is complete, okay, making this the impulse, and expanding flat in the middle, the impulse. This is complete. This is an impulse, this is a correction, this is an impulse, because this already broke this low, okay? So making this all the correction, and we are just going back for this, okay? So we're just going back for that, however it will happen, and after that we're just coming down straight. So but here is the key thing to look out for. Here is what to look out for. Whenever it gets to the top, look for sell opportunities and sell it. If it comes to this low, move your stop loss, sorry. If it decides to go back up, you may not really consider buying it, okay? But if you see a clear buy setup, take it, because this might just be a completion again of this, and we're going up. So these are the possibilities you need to bear in mind, and as the charts develop, these are the things you need to always reanalyze the chart and consider which one is happening and how to best take trades All right, so if this forms a good correction here, you might consider buying this to this stop. It should give you a 1-to-1, and hopefully it doesn't become this. But once it gets to the top, put your stop loss to break even. So if it reverses, okay, no problem, you didn't lose anything really. If it goes to this stop, you take your profit, you wait for a reversal, correction, and you sell it, because it could either be coming for this, could either be coming for this, it could either be coming for this. So whichever one it is coming for, it will still come. If it's coming for this one to break out before we start seeing maybe a continuation to the upside, or even a correction after it breaks out, a continuation to the downside. So a whole lot of things can happen on this particular instrument. So you need to keep your analysis and your forecasts flexible. Just accommodate every possibility of what could happen on the charts or with any instrument at all you're trading. UK 100. So this one is still in this correction, and when it was coming down, when it was here, when it was somewhere here, I thought it would when it was somewhere here, I thought it would form a correction for this to break, then this becoming the correction in the middle, and we go for this. But it seems it's not doing that, and it may want to do some other thing here. Let me go to the 15. Yeah, so we have this very corrective move though. Impulse, a correction, impulse, a correction, impulse, a correction, impulse, and we might just be getting another correction here. And if we do that, then we'll consider it going for this move, this one. All right, we'll consider it for that move, and then the sales will come from the top. Or this is just a leading expanding diagonal that will end up taking off after this. Okay, so we don't know which one it is yet. Let's just keep our eyes on it, because this is already close to this low, you can see, and it can take off any moment from now. It can also decide to touch this low before it goes for this completion. We never can tell what will happen, but this move particularly right here, this one, is very corrective, and looks like after what's happening here finishes, we'll come down to touch this low before we go back up. Eventually this might end up becoming this, and we might even come down, go back up, come down, break this low, and go. We just have again a lot of possibilities that could happen, and this all will not happen today. So just take a chill pill, right? You don't need to rush, and if you miss any move, you don't need to beat up yourself. It happens. We miss some, we lose some, we win some, but in all, let your winning cover or overshadow the losses and the missings. That's how you become a profitable trader. Let's go over to Bitcoin quickly and see what's happening. So it crawled back to the top, meaning that this is going to be a correction to go back up. So we might just see Bitcoin in the 100Ks any moment from now. Keep this in mind. We can now see Bitcoin in the 100Ks any moment from now, because if this is the correction, then we'll see this again. Note that this move has broken this stop. All right, This might just be all the correction, and this is just a crawl up to break the top, and we can still come for this move, or we could still be coming for this move. So how you know we are gonna come for this move is this: allow this to come down, break out of this, and if it starts forming a correction here, know that we are coming for this. So that's what you should be looking out for right now on Bitcoin. Okay, let's go to Ethereum. This also is looking like it's coming for this, you can see, right? But if this comes here, starts to make an impulse on the, let me even go to the 1 hour or 15 minutes. Let's go to the 15 minutes here, where you can see clearly. So I said this can be a standalone correction of its own. It can even be a part of this, and this is just a slow crawl up to break the stop, and we're still going for that move. So all you need to do is allow it to break out, makes a correction, consider selling it. So other than that, it will come down from this, and then from here it will give you an impulse, a correction from the lower time frame, maybe from the 15 minutes, and then we can see Bitcoin hit 100k or maybe even more. So those are the options you need to consider, right? Go back to Ethereum. That is looking, of course, downwards, and this may or may not go back one more time before we get this. Keep your eyes on this one as well. BNB, too many clusters there. Just stay away from this one, stay away from this one. It's now looking like it's forming triangle, but just stay away. And the last one I take a look at is Shield, right? Okay, I'm expecting this move, we could be getting it. If this comes here, might go back here, and we could get this move. So keep your eyes on this one. And almost every other crypto out there has this one move to make that I am looking forward to. So just trade carefully and make sure you're making profits. I'll see you on the second recording. Trade carefully.